The smart money isn't buying new GMC trucks right now. It's buying these three engines, forgotten, undervalued, and built to outlast everything GM makes today. One gets laughed at for fuel economy. One gets ignored because it's weird. One is so proven, mechanics call it the cockroach. It just won't die. All three will run 400,000 miles without asking permission. The used market hasn't figured this out yet. Here's your window. Engine number 1. 8.1-liter Vortec Big Block, 2001 to 2006. The 8.1-liter Vortec, GM's last true big block, 496 cubic inches for the old-school crowd. This thing is massive, and that's exactly why people run away from it. It drinks gas. It's overkill. Who needs that much engine? People who actually use their trucks, that's who. Yes, the 8.1-liter gets worse fuel economy than a 5.3 or 6.0. We're talking 10 to 14 miles per gallon depending on how you drive. That scares people off. They see the fuel costs and walk away, but they're doing the math wrong. The 8.1-liter makes up to 340 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. That torque number is what matters. It's in diesel territory. Without the diesel price tag, diesel maintenance, or diesel repair bills. And here's the part that changes the equation completely. This engine is unstressed. When you're towing 10,000 pounds with a 5.3, that engine is working hard. High RPM, building heat, wearing faster. The 8.1-liter towing the same load is barely trying. Low RPM, low stress, low wear. The engine everyone mocks for drinking gas actually lasts longer under load because it's never straining. The forums are full of owners with 300,000 plus miles on original engines. Hotshot haulers, RV guys, commercial operators, people who tow heavy across the country and just keep going. Oil changes, transmission services, and that's the extent of it. No injector failures, no turbo rebuilds, no DEF system nightmares. Just a big block doing big block things. The 8.1-liter was paired with the Allison 1000 transmission in most heavy-duty applications. That's the same transmission behind the Duramax diesel. It's massively overbuilt for the 8.1-liter's torque output, which means it runs cool and lasts forever. This powertrain combo is one of the most reliable GM has ever produced, and almost nobody is buying it because they're scared of the gas pump. Think about what that means in practice. The Allison behind a Duramax is handling over 900 pound-feet of torque. Behind the 8.1-liter, it's seeing 455. That's half the stress, half the heat, half the wear. The transmission is essentially on permanent vacation. Owners report 200,000, 300,000 miles on the original Allison with nothing but fluid changes, no rebuilds, no valve body issues, no torque converter drama. The transmission doesn't know it's working. And here's something the diesel crowd doesn't like to hear. The 8.1-liter will tow your 12,000-pound trailer just as effectively as a Duramax of the same era in most real-world conditions. You won't tow as efficiently, you'll stop for gas more often, but you'll get there at the same speed, on the same schedule, and you'll have $20,000 more in your pocket from the purchase price alone. Here's the goldmine part. Trucks with the 8.1-liter sell for $10,000 to $20,000, less than equivalent Duramax trucks. Similar mileage, similar condition. The diesel commands a premium because everyone wants diesel. The 8.1-liter gets overlooked because of fuel economy fears. But do the math over 10 years. Purchase price, plus fuel, plus maintenance, plus repairs. The 8.1-liter often comes out ahead. You pay more at the pump, but almost nothing at the repair shop. And you paid 5 figures less for the truck. A Duramax owner might save $2,000 a year on fuel, but one CP4 injection pump failure wipes out a decade of fuel savings in a single afternoon. The 8.1-liter doesn't have that risk. There's no catastrophic failure mode hiding in the fuel system. There's no emissions equipment waiting to put you in limp mode. It's a big, simple engine that burns gas and makes torque. That's the entire job description. One more thing people miss about the 8.1-liter, because it doesn't have a turbocharger, there's no lag. You press the gas, and the torque is there, immediately, at any RPM, for towing in the mountains, for merging on the highway with a loaded trailer, for passing on 2-lane roads. That instant throttle response is worth more than any spec sheet number. Diesel owners know the turbo lag dance. The 8.1-liter owner just goes. The 8.1-liter was discontinued after 2006. Supply is fixed. These trucks aren't being made anymore. The ones that exist are either being worked hard by someone who knows their value or sitting on Craigslist waiting for a buyer smart enough to do the math. The fuel economy jokes stop real fast when you're still running the original engine past 350,000 miles. While the Duramax owner next door is writing a check for a new injection pump, you're writing a check for gas. And somehow, over 10 years, your check total is lower than his. This next engine is even more overlooked, because most people don't even know it exists in a GMC. Engine number 2, 4.2 liters Vortec Inline-6, 2002 to 2009. An inline-six in a GMC truck. Sounds wrong, doesn't it? That's exactly why this engine is a gold mine. Nobody's looking for it. And the people who own them aren't selling, because they've figured out what the rest of the market is missing. The 4.2-liter Vortec Inline-6 was part of GM's Atlas engine family. You'll find it in the 2002 to 2009 Envoy, Trailblazer, and some early Colorados and Canyons. It makes 291 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. For a 6-cylinder, those numbers compete with entry-level V8s of the same era. But the numbers aren't what make this engine special. The smoothness is. Inline-6 engines are naturally balanced. The firing order creates perfect primary and secondary balance without needing counterweights or balance shafts. This is why BMW built their reputation on inline-sixes. This is why Toyota's 2JZ became legendary. The configuration itself produces a refinement that V6 and V8 engines have to engineer around. The 4.2-liter has it for free. GM took advantage of that inherent balance. The result is an engine that revs smooth, idles quiet, and feels refined in a way that surprises everyone who drives one for the first time. You expect truck rough from a mid-2000s GMC. You get something that feels like it belongs in a luxury SUV. On the highway, this engine cruises at 2,000 RPM, and you can barely tell it's running. In traffic, it pulls from low RPM without complaining. On a mountain road, it revs willingly and sounds good doing it. This is not a gutless 4-cylinder pretending to be a truck engine. It's a properly engineered 6-cylinder that delivers torque where you actually need it. In the real world, not on a spec sheet. The fuel economy is the bonus nobody expects. The 4.2-liter regularly returns 18 to 22 miles per gallon on the highway. In a midsize SUV from 2005, that's impressive. In a truck that also has genuine capability, it's almost unfair. You're getting V8 adjacent performance with 6-cylinder fuel costs. Now, here's why this engine lasts. Timing chain, not a belt. So no expensive belt replacement hanging over your head. Cast iron block with aluminum heads, tough bottom end, efficient top end. Individual coil-on plug ignition, no distributor to fail. The design is fundamentally solid with no major failure points waiting to destroy your wallet. The most common issue? A coolant temperature sensor, about $30. Some owners report water pump failures around 150,000 miles. A $300 repair. That's the problem list for an engine that routinely hits 250,000 miles. I found a forum thread where owners were comparing mileage. One guy checked in at 287,000 miles and is still running strong. Another at 312,000. A third had just rolled over 350,000 and was asking if he should start worrying. The response? Change your oil and stop overthinking it. A clean Envoy or Trailblazer with the 4.2-liter sells for $5,000 to $8,000. A comparable V8 SUV from the same era costs more and has more potential problems. The 4.2-liter is the better engine in a cheaper package, but buyers skip it because an inline-6 sounds weird for a truck. Here's what to look for if you're shopping. Check for oil consumption. Some higher mileage 4.2-liter engines can start burning a quart between changes. That's normal wear, not a death sentence, but it tells you how hard the engine has been used. Listen for timing chain noise on cold start. A slight rattle that goes away in a few seconds is the chain tensioner doing its job. A rattle that stays means the tensioner is worn. It's a $400 fix, not a deal breaker, but it's leverage for negotiation. The Trailblazer SS is the sleeper in this group. It came with the 6.0-liter V8, not the 4.2 liter, and those command a premium. But the regular Trailblazer with the inline-6, nobody wants it. The SS tax pushes buyers to the V8, which means clean 4.2 liter examples sit on the market longer and sell for less. That's your opportunity. Parts are everywhere. The 4.2 liter shares components with other Atlas family engines, and GM made millions of them. Any mechanic can work on it. Any parts store stocks what you need. This engine has been hiding in plain sight for 20 years, waiting for buyers to catch on. Now, the last engine on this list needs no introduction to mechanics, but somehow, regular buyers have completely forgotten it exists. If you're seeing the pattern here, proven, simple, undervalued, subscribe. I find trucks like these every week and break down exactly why they're worth your money. Now, this last engine has a nickname, and once you hear it, you'll understand why it's on this list. Engine number 3, 5.7 liters, Vortec L31, 1996 to 2002. Mechanics call this engine the cockroach, not because it's ugly, because it refuses to die. The 5.7 liter Vortec L31 was the final evolution of Chevrolet's small block V8, and decades of refinement, billions of miles of real-world testing, every weakness found and engineered out. What's left is an engine so proven, so understood, and so bulletproof that it's almost boring. And boring is exactly why people skip it. It's too old. It doesn't have enough power. I want something newer. Those people are leaving money on the table. The L31 makes 255 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. No, it won't win drag races against a modern 6.2 liters, but it'll still be running on original internals when that 6.2 liter is getting its second set of AFM lifters. Here's what makes the L31 special. It's defined by what it doesn't have. No active fuel management, no cylinder deactivation, no variable valve timing, no direct injection, no turbocharger, no intercooler, no high-pressure fuel pump waiting to send metal shavings through your fuel system. Just a simple, naturally aspirated V8 with port fuel injection. Every failure point that plagues modern GM engines? The L31 doesn't have any of them. The block is cast iron. The rotating assembly is built heavy and durable. The intake manifold is the only known weakness. The plastic coolant elbows can crack around 150,000 miles. That's a $200 fix. Compare that to the $5,000 lifter replacement on a newer AFM engine, and you start to understand why mechanics love seeing these trucks roll in. They come in for maintenance, not emergencies. One shop owner I spoke with put it perfectly. He said his customers with L31 trucks bring them in for oil changes and plugs. His customers with newer AFM trucks bring them in for 5-figure estimates. Same brand, same dealership, completely different ownership experience. The 5.7 liter was available in the 1996 to 2002 Sierra, Silverado, Tahoe, Yukon, and Suburban. These trucks are over 20 years old now. They look dated, the interiors are worn, the paint is faded, and that's exactly why they're cheap. A running, driving 1999 Sierra with the 5.7 liter and 200,000 miles sells for $3,000 to $6,000. That engine has another 150 to 200,000 miles left in it with basic maintenance. You're buying a truck for the price of a single repair bill on a newer vehicle. And here's something that matters more than most people realize. You can diagnose and fix almost anything on an L31 in your driveway with basic hand tools. No dealer scan tool required, no proprietary software, no $1,000 an hour specialist. The engine is so simple that a mechanically inclined owner can do 90% of the work themselves. Water pump? Saturday morning. Intake manifold gaskets? Weekend project. Plugs and wires? An hour and a beer. Try doing your own injector replacement on a direct injection V8 and see how that goes. This is the engine that taught a generation of mechanics how to wrench. Every trade school in America has an L31 or one of its siblings sitting in the shop. That means knowledge is everywhere. YouTube tutorials, forum guides, shop manuals. There's more information available on this engine than any other GM has ever built. You will never be stuck wondering what's wrong or how to fix it. Parts are everywhere. Junkyards are overflowing with small block components. Aftermarket support is massive. Any mechanic in the country knows this engine by heart. You can rebuild an L31 for $1,500 in parts. Try that with a modern direct injection V8 and see what happens to your credit card. I want to paint a picture of what L31 ownership actually looks like versus a newer truck. Your buddy buys a 2018 Sierra with the 5.3 liter AFM. In the first 100,000 miles, he replaces the lifters for $5,000. His torque converter starts shuddering at 80,000. He's into the truck for 45,000 purchase price plus 8,000 in repairs. Meanwhile, you bought a 2000 Sierra with the 5.7 liter for $4,000. In the same time frame, you've spent $800 total on maintenance. Plugs, wires, a water pump, oil changes. Your truck looks older. His truck costs 10 times more to keep on the road. That's the L31 ownership experience in one paragraph. The L31 doesn't have the power of newer engines. It doesn't have the fuel economy. It doesn't have the technology. It also doesn't have the repair bills. That's the trade. And for buyers who understand it, the L31 is the best value in the used truck market right now. A proven engine, a dead simple design, and a price that lets you buy the truck and still have money left over for gas. But I'll give you the same warning I give everyone. 5 years ago, you could find a well-maintained L31 Sierra for $2,000. Now the nice ones are touching $6,000. In another 5 years, the good examples will be collector adjacent. The market is slow, but it's moving. If you want one, the time is now. The cockroach, it just won't die. And that's exactly why you should be buying one. 3 engines, 3 gold mines, all ignored by a market chasing newer, shinier, more complicated trucks. The 8.1-liter Big Block, laughed at for fuel economy, but built to tow forever without breaking a sweat. The 4.2-liter inline-6, dismissed as weird, but smoother and more reliable than the V8s everyone fights over. The 5.7-liter L31, skipped because it's old, but still running when everything newer has already been rebuilt. The pattern is simple. The used market overvalues new technology and undervalues proven reliability. Buyers pay premiums for trucks with AFM lifter problems, turbo failures, and transmission shudder, while these 3 engines sit on Craigslist for half the price. The 8.1-liter trucks are already getting harder to find. Clean L31 trucks are disappearing. Even the 4.2-liter is starting to get attention from buyers who've done the research. The best truck isn't the newest truck. It's the one that's still running when everything else has been rebuilt, traded in, or sent to the junkyard. These 3 engines have already proven that. The only question is whether you're going to act on it before the rest of the market catches up. Stop chasing what's popular, start chasing what's proven. If you want to know which GMC engines to avoid completely, watch this video next. It's the 3 worst powertrains that'll drain your wallet. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.